You know, you can wait for me on the heating pad. I'm gonna come out in the same amount of time. You don't have to be cold at the door. Hi, you. Hi.
Come here, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Tux. Let's go.
He was still in the hutch all nice and warm, but when I came out, he ran over. Because he's a mama's boy, too. Oh, the carpet where it's wet, it's frozen. Hey, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. Everyone's here where they're supposed to be. I definitely got to change out the water today. I mean, I do it almost every day, but I noticed late yesterday that it had some tree limb debris. Got Ruby out for me. We're headed out on a 2-hour delay today. Don't think I said that yet. Due to black ice concerns by the county. And so that's good. I was a little worried about it. Hi, Tux. Hey, buddy. These guys are all playing up there around the tree. I think Missy over here had dry chow in the garage and isn't one to leave the heating pad. Good morning. There's food for you. There's chicken. There's chicken, Gray. Yeah. Good morning. All right. It's time to head downtown. Hopefully a lot of people are still on holiday. I had Johnny check Google Maps and it said 36 minutes, which is about the bare minimum, and that was 20 minutes ago. So hopefully it hasn't creeped up. Good morning, Ruby. So I assume it's trying to tell me that there's condensation over there, and I agree that it will dry up pretty quick here. I'm assuming that's because it's cold out and Don needs to top up the pressure in the tires. I told Johnny we're good. I don't want to see it drop any more PSI though on the way in. It should warm up and should go back up a little bit, but we'll see. It's interesting that it just came on now. Trying to pretend like I'm not worried about it. It's been 2 or 3 minutes and it hasn't gone any lower, so I think it's just because of the cold and needing to be topped up, but it also could have a nail and an extremely slow leak. So we'll have to inspect the tire on top of just filling it up, obviously. Sometimes in those rear tires, though, the nails can be particularly hard to spot because there's not a lot of the tire showing, even when you get down on the ground and try to look at it. The pillar camera message has gone away several times when we've been in the shade, and then we're back in the sun, it comes back on, and that's because I think the camera can see better when it's not bright sun shining on it. I haven't even tried to engage autopilot this morning. So yesterday morning we were in the middle lane when we came past this. The storm drain was very obviously backed up over there, and there was water all out in the road. Yesterday afternoon they had put up the cones to try to warn people, and I guess this morning they're fixing the storm drain, which is goodness. Looks like the water had drained now, and it could have been very bad for somebody yesterday morning hit that. I guess it was like 6 or 8 inches of water doing 35 or 45 mile an hour. That probably wasn't too good. Followed at least 3 capital city police officer SUV vehicles onto campus. Patrol marked cars. I have no idea why. One of them went into a parking lot with its lights on, and the other ones are circling the campus up in front of me. No sirens flashing, or not looking like they're in a rush, let's say. Like I said, the one put its lights on, but no siren. I don't know. These things that happen that we're curious about. See if they're, the other 2 appear to be exiting. So maybe part of the regular patrol or looking for something and didn't see it. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about stopping at the Discount Tire that's just on the other side of my left turn, Mechanical Boulevard up here. That way Don won't have to worry about it today. It stayed at 36, went up to 37 for a bit, back down to 36, but seriously, it hasn't changed much. One could question why it's a little bit lower than the other tires, but I don't think Don has enough time to walk with me this morning. We're a solid 15, but really more like 30 minutes short of him being on time for his 11 a.m. meeting. So I don't think if I rush home we can walk anyway, unfortunately, because I really would like to go for a walk. I could use the exercise and the routine. Oh, there's nothing saying we can't walk this afternoon. Rare is it the day that I can get all the way over. So they had a clearly marked free tire air check station, and I pulled up. They were pretty busy, but a guy came over right away. And as you can see, they're now in the 40 something, 42, 41. He asked me a few questions. They found Don in the system. You know, I understand that he wanted to check the tread on all the tires, and you know, not a problem. They're in the business to make money, but they do, you know, tire repairs and air fill-ups for free, which is part of their business model, which we all really appreciate. Yeah, there's 2 other cars in the air check area now, so I'm sure I'm not the only person this morning. Yeah, they're all at reading 41 right now. I glanced around at, I did as good a look of that rear tire as I could without moving the car or having the tire lifted, and I didn't see anything in the tire. So, like I said, it's most likely just really cold morning, and air pressure will need to be topped up from time to time. We went from really hot to really cold, and these problems always pop up on those types of mornings. So I'll keep an eye on it. But I'm probably going to go back to my nice energy display, because I don't like to be constantly worried about the tire pressure. If the little warning symbol comes up that Johnny noticed this morning again, I'm sure I would have noticed it, but he was Johnny on the spot there. And good kid, offered some, Mom, if you know, pull over, I think the air compressor's in the back, I'll get it out and I'll top your tire up for you. I know how to do that. And I was like, well, you know, certainly if it starts to drop anymore, we'll do that. And but you know, we only had like an extra 5 minutes to spare to get him to school on time, and I knew that driving at 36 psi wasn't gonna damage the tire for 20 miles. I wouldn't have wanted to drive hundreds of miles at 36, but anyway, he was a good kid. He offered to do all the right things for his mom. So I'm getting the message about the left door pillar, and I'm not surprised. So what's happened is it came out of the garage, and there must have not have been any condensation. And then as I drove and the sun beat on the glass, it generated condensation. And then sometime a little while later, you know, it warmed up enough to create it. And then sometime a while later, it also kept on warming up enough to dry it off. So there was a vehicle over on the side of the road, sort of blocking about a foot of the right lane. So I had to move to get around him. The little door pillar messages don't bother me. First off, I've seen it a time or two before, but not often. And second off, you know, I understand with 30-degree temperature swings and a couple inches of pounding rain, and you know, this is bound to happen from time to time. I do wonder when the cars are fully self-driving, and I do believe that that will eventually happen, if not with Ruby, with one of Ruby's, you know, next generations. You know, what would they do then? And what kind of technology will they come up with to make sure that the cameras are always available? Because, you know, a full self-driving car would be totally parked if I couldn't see. Now, she is letting me go into autopilot. I went into autopilot just then, so the message isn't preventing that. But you wonder, and I don't really think I need it too much here going straight down the road. However, lane centering should work fine. But I'm sure she'll let me switch lanes to the left, and I wonder if she should, if the camera is having an obstruction. So I'm sure some adjustments will need to be made going forward with these full self-driving cars to make sure that, you know, the cameras are really more always accessible. I know people that live where there's lots of snow, sometimes they have to get out and clear the cameras, and in a, you know, full self-driving car, again, what are we going to do to make sure they're always there? So Not upset for my personal driving experience today, but I am thinking it's a factor at some point in the future for full self-driving vehicles. I'm not gonna make it to Whole Foods today. Probably not this week, and I need cream and green onions and I don't know, probably one or two other things. So off I go. I can see that traffic is really backed up on the other side of the light, and that's totally due to the testing center. So I am gonna go through old downtown. I'm not dealing with that this morning. They gotta do something over there to fix that. They really do. Like, how about go back to just drop in when you need a test, because there were, let me say, no lines then. Of course, I realize Omicron and the holiday pushed up the testing, but still, we were having no trouble before you change things. Well, Dawn is knee deep on the phone. I don't see any kitties around, and it's pretty weather. I'm gonna go ahead and blow the parking pad up here in the driveway and get all these sticks from yesterday's storm off. All better, including Ruby. The Amazon driver came with a package, and the nice girl said she loved my interior. The white seats strike again. It's going on 12:30. I've got about an hour before I go to get Johnny. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. This is nighttime. Hi, sweetie.
Could you hop down out of the way, though, please? I'll see you in a minute.
She goes, no, Mom, I can't. I'll sit over here out of the way, though, for you. So a few things came yesterday. The green tiles, one of them that I was specifically waiting on. I'm going to install them. I've got an hour. I get as far as I get. I did some chores. Now I'm going to play for a minute with some help from my furry friends. Some of the rest of them are right outside the door, or they were a minute ago. Oh, wow. Marty came into the catio to get some dry chow, and Tux is up top and not upset about it, or at least not upset enough to hop down. He just mostly doesn't like Stripe, who's right here. Hi, bud. Hi. I'd come back out and see you, but then Tux would hop down, and then I'd have to resettle. So this is the Elf toy conveyor belt. I know it's really tiny. I'm going to build that now, or try to build as much of that as I can. It's 13 studs long. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. It will fit in there. The chest will go, and that's where I'm going to put it probably. So I'm going to work on the conveyor belt, and if I get done with that, I'll work on the presents for the shelves before I button up the top. Well, I am over halfway there. I got a few more knobs and a wheel to put on, and then a couple of toys on the belt. So probably at least halfway. It's coming along nice. Yeah, well, Fuquay Varina PD was doing a great job of keeping things moving as best as they could. I estimate there were somewhere between 50 and 75 cars in line to be tested. So that's a lot. Plus, they're still doing vaccinations by appointment in that building, so people need to get in there to get to their vaccination appointment. I'm not sure how they're handling that, where you show up for your vaccine, but then you have to wait in the line for the people that are in line to be tested. I don't know. I'll let those guys sort it out, since we're all vaccinated and boosted and not currently in need of a test. I think at this point, if one of us were sick, we'll just assume it's Omicron and stay away from people until we feel better. Johnny was asked today at school to submit to a PCR mouth swab test. I didn't know they did mouth. I've only had the nose ones done here in town, and that was just a couple of times. That time I had the what was that little procedure I had done? I had Duke made me go and get it. Anyway, I told him I thought that was reasonable and hoped that he would feel okay about it, and he said that he did fine, so that's good. I think the mouth is, if it's as accurate and as cheap, is certainly a little kinder on anyone that's never had it before, or a child without a parent, especially younger kids or whatever. But the school had sort of warned that they were going to start doing that, and I guess Johnny had to do that today. I don't know if that's going to be a daily thing or a weekly thing or an as-needed thing. But at any point, he had to submit to a PCR mouth swab test today. And yes, there are quite a few parents around town that are absolutely horrified that their child is being asked to submit to a test. Well, you know, when I was in school, the school nurse told us to go line up, and they gave us vaccinations and other shots and pretty much whatever they wanted at the school. So, you know, that was happening in the 70s. This is really like not new news, people, or not something that hasn't ever been done before. What's that test you have done on your arm where they make the scar and then they come back and they look at it later? Smallpox, maybe? Polio? I don't know. Anyway, we all had to submit to that at the school. Well, I'm in Garner, halfway to the school, and yeah, that tire seems to totally be behaving. So I had already switched back over to Energy, but I wanted to take a quick peek after it had sat for a while and after it had been driven some more, and I'm satisfied now. Back to Energy. Well, it looks deceptively wonderful out there, and it is pretty nice for a January day, but it's 44. Oh, it's not particularly warm. I've made it downtown without any problems, so that's good. Could have used to be 10 minutes earlier again, but I'm not late by any stretch either. Johnny did not ask me to come get him early today. I was paying attention and on standby, but I guess with the delay, it wasn't that overly long of a day, because he's just got the 2 high school classes right now. My little church that I used to sit at all the time, they're tearing it down. What in the world? I thought they were renovating it. I guess they went in and got out anything useful and then tore it down. Wow. I did not know that was happening. That is a complete surprise. I seriously thought they were renovating it. So I have one dash cam clip I want to show you, and I don't know why this is hanging around. I was looking at stuff and it's done that several times. So we're coming down Main Street. Johnny's in the passenger seat. We're coming up on Cookout on the right, Chick-fil-A on the left, and then McDonald's, Bojangles, the Walgreens, that kind of thing. And traffic is moving along okay. It's 35 miles an hour through here. And I told Johnny that we weren't turning down past the testing site because too backed up. You know, when I came through town, it was really backed up. And so it's just normal traffic. We're getting close to the red dot. I'm just letting you see. This is pretty typical for 401. I hadn't noticed that he wobbled a little bit, but this car's not the offending car. Watch this guy. Almost hit me. Started to just come out of the thing. I don't know if they thought they were in the, you know, it never looks as close on the camera as it is in person, but they literally kept coming. So let's look at the right camera here. Although I really want to see B-pillar. I really want to see B-pillar. They're waiting to come out. It's the very next entrance. See how close they were there for that blip? I mean, literally, I don't know. Maybe she thought she was turning into the turn lane and not into the through lane because the turn lane started there. I don't know. But I mean, she was really, really close to the side of the car. Let me see if I can stop it this time. So we're just you know, it's hard to adjust close to the red button. I'm not trying to make us watch all of it all over again. So there's the lane that's okay. And as soon as we see the next turn lane, it should be about here. Oh, it's the next one. Sorry, I lost count. It's very hard to stop, and I'm sure maybe if I took it in the house, but trust me, getting it back out to the car, not losing it. I think they were coming out of the McDonald's. Might have been the Walt BB&T. I guess there's McDonald's, so it's the next one. It's BB&T. Yeah, actually, I was wrong. That first one back there was Cookout. Then this one is the McDonald's, and that's not where she was. She was up at BB&T. I mean, if she looks that close to the side of my car, it's closer than it looks. That was, and she was, I could see her looking in my direction. It wasn't like she wasn't looking. And she just, I don't know what was going on with her, and I honked the horn. And then I was watching her in the rearview mirror. You can't see here, but there was a passenger. And there was no wave like, I'm sorry I did that, or any recognition that she did anything wrong, or I don't know. I'm glad she didn't hit us. Well, it's already 4:30, so Dawn and I decided we just go around the track over here. 3 times is probably enough for me. 30 minutes worth of exercise, something.
Short. As soon as she closes that ring, we're getting back in the car.
Right. Well, first off, Don's had a stressful day. I didn't even talk to him except for one wave when he got up to grab some coffee.
Happy New Year. God.
Right. First day back to work. I mean, really, I was in the house for 2 hours this morning, and normally we chat just a smidge. There was nothing, no chatting this morning. And anyway, I came home from school with Johnny, and I walked up to the cul-de-sac with that 7.5 amp hour battery in that blower, and you know, that's not light. And I got the cul-de-sac all clean. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they have mowed up here today.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing Don and I picked up a bunch of them sticks yesterday.
That's right.
I suspect they're still piled up where they were, but maybe not. Maybe they came in and picked them up from around the tree. You know,
They blew the trail off.
yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think they blew the trail, but okay. Maybe they sort of blew the trail.
Lawnmower ran over everything.
So anyway, it's good that we picked up some yesterday. That means they didn't run over stuff. And I have 20 exercise minutes already. So if I run around lap 2, I ought to close my ring, no problem. Some of us have been busy today.
Some of us are just cold.
Yeah, it is cold out here. I forgot my hat too. I wanted to not come down the trail because I thought we'd be warmer here, but this is
It's already passed.
it's mostly in the shade. Well, you know what, Donnie? They didn't mow all the grass. They didn't mow this over here. They mowed over by the community center. Maybe this will be, I'm sure this is on the list. It looks pretty though, all nice fresh grass. Well, once we got moving, we got warm enough.
She's gonna be having me pick dandelions pretty soon. I ain't picking no dandelions.
That's funny. I got 41 exercise minutes. We're good.
It says, keep it up, Dawn. 3,288 steps.
24 heart points, whatever that
24 heart
means.
points, yeah. 1.4 miles, 184 calories. 34 move minutes, 97. Heart rate was 97 beats per minute average. So that's the first time it showed me that on my thing. And 25:10. Marianne has hooked my
Yep, health sync.
health sync. I got
So your watch is now getting your heart rate, and that's going, Google Fit on the watch and the phone are the same.
right.
And then some things are being transferred to Fitbit, except for sleep data is going from Fitbit back to Google.
Right. And I got extra points received today, it says.
Well, we did a lot of bending over
Yeah.
and standing back up today. It was lots of toe touches, basically.
Yeah, lots of toe touches. I did lots of, she's going to be making me pull dandelions up here.
I am not. All right, it's chicken tenders for appetizer, not for dinner. They're dipped in egg. The chicken's dipped in egg, and then Parmesan cheese, coconut flour mixture. And then of course there's lots of seasonings, and I make homemade sour cream ranch. And Don's fixing to steal that off, and I'm making a little bit for me and Johnny. Oh, I got Johnny dropped off at Taekwondo. I could use a certain kind of dry chow for the kitties, so I am gonna head over to Walmart. I was sorting Legos after making everybody those chicken tenders. Now I'm so full of, I wonder if I'm gonna want what I was gonna fix for dinner when I got home or not. We'll see. Wow, our Lego aisle here in Fuquay is pretty decimated. Well, it's a good thing right now I don't need cat food because Donnie loves me.
Oh yeah, I love going out on cold nights.
Off his couch. This girl has found something she wants to scavenge in the other neighborhood. And I already came home and got a drill and tried to take it apart myself. I try not to involve Don in these things, I do, but it's 2 small spools, but they're screwed together and I couldn't get it apart. So I told Donnie we really don't need to take it apart, except for I was gonna put it in Ruby. They're not dirty. I think they were inside. Anyway, I'll show you when we get back with it. It's just in that other neighborhood. They throw out the best stuff over there. All right, there's what we hauled home. There's a bunk bed ladder, 2 pieces of wood, and then which Dawn decided to take. And maybe you can see the double spools. There's 2 of them and they're screwed together and I couldn't get them apart. They're very reasonable. You can see, what is that, about a 2.5 foot diameter maybe. Anyway, I'm pleased. Very pleased. I've been looking for a spool for forever. Thank you, Donnie. He's such a good guy. Puts up with a lot. I'm sharing this because I want you to think it's funny, but with all of this Omicron stuff in the news, I thought, you know, I just probably should buy another thing of toilet tissue. It made me feel better, more prepared.